Hey everyone. Hi Pisces. Anyone new to Opal Oracle, welcome. Anyone returning? Okay, Pisces, mid-month. You've already made a decision. Rather, at very least, the decision has been made. But even that right there, like I couldn't even get out the sentence. I guess maybe you've made, there's been decisions that have been made within the mind, but it isn't completely, that decision hasn't ultimately affected the physical world yet. But it will, and exponentially. It was just 111. With Mercury in retrograde, and I just see from the cards here, it's important for you to keep your communication. Not that you wouldn't necessarily, it's not about talking about something light or what would be heavy, but it's more about a softness. Because what is speaking, what is having conversations with people, it is exchanging, exerting your energy outwardly, right? And then that combines with whatever you're interacting with and then comes back into you and we go along. That's why when we meet certain people or end up in certain situations, we're like, that's really uncomfortable. But then it all depends if we keep moving forward or if we, decide to, I heard, defer from the path. Because usually what that would mean, it can mean a lot of things, but we'll stick to the point. I see that it's important for you to nurture yourself during this time, okay? To center yourself. You've put a lot of time and energy into something, into many things actually, but there's two main situations. It's like you're kind of triangulating something at this time. You're trying to find the center point, right? Like Polaris. So your inner child says, don't give up. I heard nothing comes easy, which is 333. It's important for you to make decisions from a place of security. Okay? Yes, very much so actually. Knowing your stance, taking a stance. But from a really soft place. Okay, because it might even be like little stances throughout. And what is this? A stance, when I said stances, I saw the word like stanza. Which are poetic amounts, right? That equate a certain definition depending on how you order it. And you love music, so in that way, because I believe that could also go, etc., but the point is that writing poetry would be helpful, writing in general, writing the parts of yourself that you love, you know, knowing that you have all that you need, that you're strong enough to handle situations, but that you're, it's about knowing your power, but not necessarily exerting it. Because when we exert it, particularly ways of communication, like, this is my stance, and that's it. It's restrictive thinking, it's rigidity. And you don't have any cups on the board, so it's important for you to stay fluid in your emotions, okay? If all the other aspects are rigid, if your mind is rigid, it's going to block. It's going to make you feel blocked, you know? And that's when you become defensive. That's when you're like, and what is defensiveness but putting up a wall because you're giving up on interacting with something, right? You're like, I don't want to deal with you. But when you do it in that way, you actually block your success. There are two strong people here, adults. There's an importance to keep open-minded to what an ultimate close of a cycle means. And I heard how family relates to the word independence. Like, does your independence interfere with your stances, interfere with your own abundance, your own ability to it's about the focus. And the focus here is the truth. There's now 3 queens on the board. That's a lot of females. The only one that's missing is the Queen of Wands. And it's interesting that I went to what's missing, even though we have all these positive attributes, right? So, but that's the whole, like, kind of lack mentality, you know. Oh, I have all these things, but this isn't quite enough. What's missing? And when we think like that, we really do block ourselves. And the thing is this is your strength right now. So if you have to stand up for yourself, for your beliefs, etc., for the decisions that you're making, particularly those for your highest good, particularly for the highest good to nurture yourself, to become closer to you and the energy of the earth and of God, etc., that's positive. But also, you know, your strength, your biggest strength is your biggest weakness. So sometimes I can see energetically this could well, I heard get out of hand, but what is get out of hand? If this wand got out of his hands, he's basically holding the Ace of Wands, right? The magic wand. You can create whatever it is that you want, and I see that you're making a decision about instead of viewing your past as a struggle, as something you have to contend with, it's something that's actually very successful and has brought you to a place of being able to see the world in a different perspective, you know, see the world from different perspectives, you know, in a really feminine, beautiful, soft, loving way. You could be a little bit concerned about your finances right now, but with the Queen in the future, you're fine. It's important to keep working on whatever your craft is and stay focused. I see you'll have better productivity in your life, more creativity, inspiration, energy, etc. the more that you nurture yourself. It'll help keep your mind more clear. You know, keep that thought process super clear, because technically you made this, whatever this decision is made from a very emotional place, from a very pure place. You know, that's the energy, that's the intention behind it. Sometimes there's like you play head games with yourself. Like that's your ego doing that, but it's just ignore. Well, I wouldn't say ignore it. It's when we become worried about 10 steps ahead. That makes it stressful, you know. And you being water, you're fluid. But the thing is the focus here. Your inner child wants you to focus on Earth. Okay, it wants you to focus on patience, on what is a long-term goal. What is long-term? What is longevity? And I see also what is the longevity of you nurturing yourself is how you heal. And how you'll start sleeping better because you have less. You're releasing that pain from your heart, you know. That could also be what this decision is like, yeah, I'm going to actually open this cup. I'm going to open my mouth and talk about, communicate how it is that I feel. Because that's what I need to do for myself. Because being cold, I mean, I love the Queen of Swords, but it's like her in the reverse and your ego. There's no need to block yourself. In thinking that everything that you have isn't enough. That the hard work that you've put into something, the time and energy, the money, whatever, it's for the greater good. Something about May. Let's see. All the queens are facing the past. Your inner child is facing the past. Your inner child wants to remind you how far that you have come. Okay? How that you are in a position to be able to, it is good to give and receive. And I see with all the feminine, it's very important for you to be in tune with receiving. Because the more that you are able to receive and not block it, is how you will be able to give more. That exchange will be more balanced. Okay? I heard, know that the rocky road is a blessing. Climbing the mountain isn't easy. Wasn't that one of your readings? Coming down the mountain? I would suggest watching that again. I think it was January. I really like this in the future, okay, Pisces? It's an internal process, but it really does affect your external world. It affects your job. It affects your interaction with family, with long-term goals, with asking for help, but not waiting until you're annoyed and then being like, why don't you help me? You know, or like that person that or not even saying it to somebody, just keeping all the energy inside like this, right? It's not good. It's there's such a need for opening. Like once we open the heart chakra, that's the energy that pushes us forward in life. That is what helps us find the opening. And I see in, so, yeah, the future is successful. It could be part of the retrogrades also looking back a bit and assessing, you know, having experiences that cause you to assess things energetically, mentally, psychologically, physically even. Like, how is it that you work with other people? How is it that you work with yourself? Do you trust yourself? Do you nurture yourself? And I see the more that you nurture and trust yourself, you will ultimately close out and have a very concise and crisp comprehension of understanding something from a completely different perspective. Okay? Like a really transformative place. But it comes with patience is needed. You know, it's probably why all the females are here too, is to show you that you are safe, you are loved, and you are protected. And don't give up, because this was your extra card, and the Queen of Pentacles just did a dance like over to the, you know, it's a good time to trust your gut, to trust your dreams, your daydreams and your night dreams. and to look at them from an open-minded place so that you can find that higher perspective, the outer understanding of what I heard what is perfection, you know, and focusing really a lot on what it is that you do have versus what it is that you don't have, what is missing, right? It's about what's there. Because all the things that we seek outside of ourselves is what we can never lose anything for. Nothing is ours, but we also can never lose anything because it is always ours. You know? All right. Take care of yourself.